Welcome back to the video of Lecture 4, Organizational Culture. In this video, we'll start to see what organizational values are. According to our textbook, values characterize an organization stands for qualities worthy of esteem or commitment. It's quite important to note values are intangible. Next, myths. Myths can have roles to enhance organization values. They often originate in the beginning of an organization, so we might find more myths in public organizations than private organizations, since, as we learned, in most nations, public organizations have older histories than private organizations. In other words, myths can offer a narrative connection of organizational values between the present and the past. Third, vision is a shared fantasy illuminating new possibility within the realm of myths and values. In other words, vision is a shared future images between group members based on organizational values. It can connect the past history and the current situation with future events. So if some members are not happy with the future image based on the current organizational values, they may leave that organization. In sum, these myths, values, and vision are intangible, so it's quite difficult to distinguish these three ideas. That's why these three often conjoin as values. The point is that myths can connect the present with the past, and vision can connect the past and present with future. So we learned values are intangible, but there is a way to visualize such organizational values. In other words, we can enhance organizational values by creating logos, uniform, heroes. For instance, when young soldiers wear this type of uniform, they feel strong commitment to the nation. Also, when a new baseball player joins New York Yankees, they will be happy to shave beard or mustache, the culture of New York Yankees, since they admire Derek Jeter. Another way to enhance organizational culture in a tangible way is rituals and ceremonies, where organizational members can feel tie or connection beyond words or rational thinking. It's always difficult for managers to decide how much money they should pay for these ceremonies, but in the case of Rutgers University, it's sure that Rutgers cannot abolish commencement while it's so costly. Finally, if we can share specialized language for our organization, we can enhance organizational values or culture. Now we've come to the main interest of management studies, effects of culture. Specifically, culture can act as functions in organizations. It can make organizations original. Also, it can develop a sense of identity among organizational members. It also enhances a sense of loyalty, obligation, or commitment to organization beyond self-interest. Further, it can enhance the stability of the organizational systems, rules, or guidelines. And the culture can be a control mechanism from employers to employees. I'll give you an example of this in the next slide. On one hand, culture can be liabilities over organization, such as barrier to change or diversity. Due to these disadvantages, you as manager want to change organizational culture. But to do this, we need to know how culture is formed in an organization. Firstly, I'll talk about formation of culture in general. Sociologists identify institution as forerunner of culture. Here, institution means an established pattern of behaviors or relationships. But if it disappears in a moment, we cannot call it culture. If an institution is enhanced by values, myths, and vision, and then survived in a certain time period, we can call it culture. If that culture becomes very strong in a community or society, it can act as a substitute for formalization as informal rules. Moreover, oftentimes, such strong cultural codes are written and reflected on formal rules. Here's a simple example of developing process from an institution to formal rule. An origin of soccer may be 3 people who play together with a ball. And at a certain point, one person suggested no hand rule. This rule was accepted by other 2 players, and this became an informal rule only among 3 people. But at the current time, this no hand rule is a formal rule in the most popular sports, soccer, since it was enhanced by others' values, myths, and vision. Here it should be noted that once cultural codes are written, it becomes rules or systems. So the most problematic dimension of culture is, while it's not visible, it can act as a substitute of rule. In other words, too strong culture might make organizations inflexible, conservative, and inefficient. Due to such issues with culture, some employers or leaders in an organization might wish to control culture. This is an example where founders of an organization intentionally create culture and keep it alive through selection process and top management. The main point here is that to create a new culture and keep it alive, we need effective leadership which can encourage your employees or subordinates to follow the leaders. In the end, I'll give you an example of culture analysis for Japanese management. Actually, this is a part of my journal article, which is under review. The main topic is individualism versus groupism. While I wrote this part mainly for Japan, I believe that in any organization beyond Western or Asian, we can find a certain degree of groupism. Groupism in general can be characterized by individual identity and a sense of security through an affiliation of a group, stress on harmony and cooperation, and exclusivism or the insider-outsider mentality. Comparative studies of Japanese and Western management have identified these pros and cons of Japanese management based on groupism. For instance, groupism can enhance unity of command and teamwork. On one hand, it may require sacrifice of personal life for organizational goals. In fact, many Japanese workers work overtime to fulfill their positional responsibilities or obligations. Such management practices have prevented women workers from balancing work and life. Based on this analysis, Juan Buto maintains that groupism is stronger in public organizations than private organizations in Japan, since fewer members change their jobs until retirement, lifetime employment. And more importantly, results of this analysis contradicts traditional theory for effects of publicness on managerial values. The existing Western theory of publicness suggests that due to disconnection between individual performance and organizational success in public organizations, public officials tend to have lower organizational commitment than do private workers. In sum, culture is very unique from organization to organization. Thus, it's quite difficult to generalize effects of culture in an organization. This is the end of the lecture. You can find key points as usual. Also, here is references you cannot find in your textbook. See you in the next lecture. Bye.